In the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean lies one of the most mysterious ruins on Earth. A forgotten city built entirely from massive stone blocks. A city constructed on small artificial islands connected by canals. A place so strange that some people call it the Venice of the Pacific. But this is no ordinary ancient city, because the stones used to build it weigh up to 50 tons each. And the people who built it had no cranes, no metal tools, and no modern engineering. Yet somehow, centuries ago, they created one of the most astonishing stone cities ever built. This place is known as Nan Madol, located off the coast of Pohnpei. This mysterious complex has puzzled historians, archaeologists, and explorers for generations. Who built this incredible city? How were the giant stones transported across the ocean? And why was such an enormous city constructed in the middle of the sea? Tonight, we begin the journey into one of the greatest mysteries of the Pacific. From above, Nan Madol looks like something almost unreal. More than 90 artificial islands spread across a shallow lagoon. Each island separated by narrow canals of seawater. The entire complex covers an area of nearly 200 acres. Stone walls surround each island, forming enclosures, platforms, and ceremonial spaces. Some walls rise more than 7 meters high. But what makes Nan Madol truly extraordinary is the material used to build it. Massive columns of basalt stone. These stones are stacked horizontally like enormous logs. Many weigh between 5 and 50 tons. And yet they were transported and stacked with remarkable precision. All of this was built long before modern construction technology existed. Which raises the first great mystery of Nan Madol. How was such a massive project even possible? To understand Nan Madol, we must first understand its location. The ruins lie just offshore from the island of Pohnpei, part of the Federated States of Micronesia. This region sits thousands of kilometers away from major continents. Even today, reaching Pohnpei requires long flights across the Pacific Ocean. Now imagine this island 1,000 years ago. No modern ships, no industrial tools, no large population centers. And yet, in this remote location, an enormous stone city emerged from the sea. For centuries, local communities preserved stories about the ruins. Stories passed down through generations. Stories that attempted to explain how the impossible city was built. Some of those stories are almost unbelievable. One of the biggest puzzles of Nan Madol involves the origin of its stones. The city was built using basalt columns, a type of volcanic rock. These columns are naturally formed when lava cools and cracks into hexagonal shapes. But here's the mystery. The basalt used in Nan Madol does not come from the immediate area. The nearest source of similar stone lies several kilometers away across rough terrain. Transporting these stones would have required moving blocks weighing tens of tons. Even today, moving stones that heavy requires cranes or heavy machinery. Yet the builders of Nan Madol had none of these technologies. So how did they do it? Archaeologists have proposed several theories. Some suggest that the stones were rolled over logs. Others believe they may have been transported on large wooden rafts. But there's a problem with these explanations. Many of the stones would have been far too heavy for such simple methods, which leads to one of the strangest legends connected to Nan Madol. According to traditional stories from Pohnpei, Nan Madol was built by two powerful brothers. Their names were Olisipa and Olasipa. These brothers were said to be powerful sorcerers who traveled across the ocean searching for a place to build a sacred city. When they arrived at Pohnpei, they began constructing Nan Madol, but they did not move the stones using ordinary labor. According to legend, they used magic. The massive basalt stones were said to float through the air. Guided by supernatural power, the stones moved across the island and settled perfectly into place. To modern ears, this story sounds impossible. But myths often contain symbolic hints about real events. Could the story be an exaggerated memory of a lost construction technique? Or were ancient people simply trying to explain something they could not fully understand? Whatever the truth may be, the legend of the twin builders remains one of the most fascinating parts of the Nan Madol mystery. Today, archaeologists continue to study the ruins of Nan Madol, and the more they study it, the more extraordinary the site appears. This was not just a collection of random buildings. It was a carefully planned city. Each island served a specific function. Some islands were residential areas. Others were used for rituals and ceremonies. One island, known as Nan served as a royal burial site. Massive walls surround the tombs of ancient rulers. The architecture suggests that Nan Madol was once the political and spiritual center of an entire civilization. But this discovery raises an even bigger question. Who ruled this city? And what kind of society was powerful enough to build it? The story of Nan Madol does not end with its construction. Because this mysterious stone city was once the capital of a powerful ruling dynasty. A dynasty that controlled the island of Pohnpei for centuries. A dynasty known as the Saudeleur Dynasty. Their rule would shape the history of the island. Their power would inspire both fear and reverence. And their downfall would eventually lead to the abandonment of the entire city. Hidden deep in the Pacific Ocean lies a ruined city that defies explanation. Massive stone walls rise from the sea, canals cut through ancient structures, and towering basalt columns, each weighing several tons, are stacked with impossible precision. This place is Nan Madol, located on the island of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. More than 90 artificial islands were built here. But the biggest mystery remains. How did ancient people move and stack thousands of giant stones? Centuries before modern machinery existed? Some stones weigh over 25 tons. There were no cranes, no metal tools, and no wheels, yet somehow, an entire city was constructed in the middle of the ocean. Tonight, we dive deeper into the mystery of Nan Madol's impossible construction. Was this the work of ingenious engineers, ancient giants? Or a lost technology we no longer understand? To understand the mystery of Nan Madol, you must first look at the stones themselves. The city is built almost entirely from basalt columns. These hexagonal volcanic stones look like giant logs. Each one weighs between 5 and 25 tons. And thousands of them were used to construct massive walls. Archaeologists estimate that more than 750,000 tons of stone were transported to build Nan Madol. But here's the strange part. The basalt did not originate from the city itself. The nearest source is located miles away across rough jungle terrain. This means the ancient builders had to 1. Quarry the stones. 2. Transport them across land. 3. Move them through mangrove swamps. 4. Carry them across the sea. 5. Stack them with precision, all without modern tools. Even today, engineers struggle to explain how this could have been accomplished. Researchers have proposed several theories, but none fully explain the scale of the construction. Theory 1. Wooden rafts. Some archaeologists believe the stones were transported on large wooden rafts. Workers may have floated the basalt columns across the lagoon, but this theory has problems. A single basalt column weighing 25 tons would require a massive raft, and transporting thousands of such stones would require an enormous fleet. There is no archaeological evidence of such infrastructure. Theory 2. Log rollers. Another idea suggests the stones were rolled across logs. This method was used in many ancient civilizations. But here's the problem. The terrain of Pohnpei is dense jungle and swamp. Moving stones this heavy through such terrain would be extremely difficult. Even modern experiments struggle to replicate it. Theory 3. Human chains. Some historians believe hundreds of workers formed human chains to carry stones. However, the sheer weight of the basalt makes this unlikely. A 25-ton column would require hundreds of people just to lift. Yet there is little evidence that the population of Pohnpei was large enough to support such a workforce. Local legends offer a very different explanation. According to oral traditions, Nan Madol was built by powerful rulers known as the Saudeleur Dynasty. But the most fascinating story involves two mysterious brothers. Their names were Olisipa and Olasipa. According to Pohnpeian legend, these brothers possessed supernatural powers. They were said to have arrived from a distant land in a large canoe. When they reached the island, they decided to build a sacred city, but instead of lifting the stones themselves, they used magic. The stones, the legend says, floated through the air. One by one, the massive basalt columns flew into place, stacking themselves into the towering walls of Nan Madol. To modern ears, this sounds like myth. But similar stories exist around the world. Ancient civilizations often described builders who possessed strange technologies or supernatural abilities. Could these legends preserve fragments of forgotten history? Beyond the mystery of the stones lies another astonishing fact. Nan Madol is not just a collection of ruins. It is a carefully engineered city. The entire complex is built on artificial islands. Massive stone walls form rectangular enclosures. Inside them are canals filled with seawater. These canals connect the entire city like a network of streets. Some researchers call Nan Madol the Venice of the Pacific. But building artificial islands required extraordinary planning. The builders had to construct stone foundations in shallow water, fill the interior with coral rubble, create stable platforms for buildings. Even today, constructing structures in ocean environments is extremely challenging. Yet Nan Madol was built centuries ago, and much of its construction still puzzles modern engineers. So what was Nan Madol actually used for? Archaeologists believe the city served as the ceremonial and political center of the Saudeleur Dynasty. The islands may have been divided into different districts. Some areas were used for royal residences, religious ceremonies, food storage, burial sites. One of the most mysterious structures is Nan Madol's, a massive walled enclosure. Its towering basalt walls reach over 7 meters high. Inside are royal tombs believed to belong to ancient rulers. But even here, the mystery deepens. Some tombs appear to have been opened long ago. Who opened them? Treasure hunters? Ancient rivals? Or something else entirely? Despite decades of research, the true story of Nan Madol remains incomplete. How were the stones moved? Who truly built the city? And why was such an enormous structure constructed in the middle of the ocean? But the next discovery may be the most shocking of all, because deep beneath the ruins, archaeologists have found evidence suggesting Nan Madol may be far older than anyone expected. Some researchers believe its origins could date back thousands of years earlier than recorded history. If that is true, Nan Madol might not just be an ancient city. It could be the remains of a lost civilization, and what we see today may only be the surface of a much deeper mystery. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean stands one of the most mysterious ancient cities ever discovered. A place built from massive stone columns, a city rising from the sea itself. This is Nan Madol, the ruined capital of the ancient rulers of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. But beyond the towering basalt walls, beyond the canals and artificial islands, lies a darker mystery. Hidden deep inside the city are ancient tombs, tombs said to contain powerful rulers, strange artifacts, and secrets that may rewrite the history of the Pacific. Some explorers who tried to open these tombs claimed something terrifying happened. Stories speak of curses, sudden deaths, and unexplained disasters. Are these just myths? Or was Nan Madol guarding something it did not want disturbed? Tonight, we explore the hidden tombs of Nan Madol. At the heart of Nan Madol lies a massive structure, unlike anything else in the ruins. Its towering basalt walls rise over 7 meters high. This mysterious compound is called Nan Madol. Many researchers believe this was the royal burial complex of the powerful rulers known as the Saudeleur Dynasty. The Saudeleur kings ruled Pohnpei for centuries before European contact. According to local traditions, they governed with absolute authority. Their capital city was Nan Madol, a sacred political center built in the lagoon. When the rulers died, they were buried within the stone walls of Nan Madol. But archaeologists who studied the site noticed something strange. Some tombs appear to have been opened long ago, and many burial chambers are now empty. What happened to the bodies? And who opened the tombs? One of the most chilling stories connected to Nan Madol dates back to the early 20th century. At the time, Germany controlled parts of Micronesia as a colonial territory. In 1907, the German governor Victor Berck decided to investigate the ruins of Nan Madol. Local islanders warned him not to disturb the tombs of the ancient kings. They believed the graves were protected by powerful spirits. But the governor ignored their warnings. According to historical accounts, he ordered workers to open one of the royal tombs inside Nan Madol. When the tomb was opened, something unexpected happened. Inside the chamber were large bones and strange artifacts. Some witnesses claimed the skeleton inside seemed unusually large. But the real mystery happened later that night. After returning from the excavation, the governor reportedly died suddenly in his sleep. The islanders believed the ancient rulers had taken revenge. From that moment on, many locals refused to enter the tomb complex. Stories of giant skeletons have circulated around Nan Madol for generations. According to local legends, the early rulers of Pohnpei were not ordinary humans. Some traditions claim they were giants, others say they possessed supernatural strength. These stories may sound unbelievable, but they are not unique. Across the world, ancient myths often describe powerful beings who ruled early civilizations. At Nan Madol, The massive basalt stones used in construction raise a similar question. If some stones weigh over 20 tons, who had the strength to move them? Modern archaeologists believe large workforces could have transported the stones. But local legends suggest another possibility. Perhaps the rulers themselves were not ordinary people. Even today, many residents of Pohnpei avoid certain areas of Nan Madol. The ruins are considered sacred and dangerous. Some fishermen refuse to travel through the canals at night. They say strange sounds echo through the ruins after sunset. Others claim shadowy figures move along the ancient walls. Whether these stories are folklore or something more, they have shaped how locals interact with the site. In fact, for centuries, Nan Madol remained largely untouched. Dense mangrove forests and local taboos kept explorers away. This isolation may have helped preserve the ruins. But it also means that many parts of the city remain poorly studied. There could still be hidden chambers waiting to be discovered. Modern archaeologists have tried to study Nan Madol more carefully. Excavations suggest the city was constructed between the 12th and 17th centuries. But some researchers believe parts of the site could be older. Artifacts found within the ruins include pottery fragments, shell tools, coral, construction materials. These discoveries suggest Nan Madol was once a thriving ceremonial center. However, many questions remain unanswered. No large quarries have been discovered nearby, and the logistics of moving the basalt stones remain mysterious. Even today, Nan Madol is considered one of the least understood ancient cities in the world. The tombs of Nan Madol may hold the secrets of its rulers. But another mystery lies beyond the ruins themselves. Because recent studies suggest something even more surprising. The city may not have been built in isolation. Evidence hints that the builders of Nan Madol could have been connected to ancient seafaring cultures across the Pacific. If true, Nan Madol may have been part of a vast forgotten network of ocean civilizations. And the Pacific Ocean may still hide many lost cities beneath its waves. For centuries, an ancient dynasty ruled the island of Pohnpei from a mysterious stone city built on the sea. A city of canals and towering basalt walls. A city known as Nan Madol. This incredible complex served as the political and religious capital of the powerful Saudeleur Dynasty. But every empire eventually falls. According to ancient legends, the Saudeleur rulers became cruel and oppressive. Their power grew, but so did the anger of the people they ruled. Then one day, a stranger arrived from across the ocean. A warrior said to possess supernatural strength. His name was Isocalico, and his arrival would change the fate of Nan Madol forever. Before its mysterious fall, Nan Madol was the center of power in the Pacific. The city served as the capital of the Saudeleur Dynasty, which ruled Pohnpei for many centuries. Unlike other Pacific Island societies, where power was divided among clans, the Saudeleur kings ruled with absolute authority. They controlled land and food production, religious ceremonies, and political decisions across the island. Nan Madol itself functioned as a ceremonial city where rulers and priests governed the population. The population lived mostly outside the city, while the elite class occupied the stone islands within the lagoon. But according to oral traditions, the dynasty gradually became more oppressive. Heavy tribute was demanded from the island's inhabitants. Food, labor, and resources were constantly taken by the ruling elite, and eventually, resentment began to grow. According to the legends of Pohnpei, the downfall of the Saudeleur rulers was foretold long before it happened. Stories speak of a prophecy. One day, a warrior from a distant land would arrive to challenge the dynasty. That warrior was Isocalico. Legend says he was the son of a powerful deity. Some stories even claim he was the child of the thunder god. He arrived on the shores of Pohnpei with a group of warriors who traveled across the Pacific Ocean. But his mission was clear. He had come to overthrow the rulers of Nan Madol. At first, Isocalico lived among the people of the island. He listened to their stories. He saw their suffering under the Saudeleur rulers. And slowly, he began to gather support. A rebellion was about to begin. The final conflict between Isocalico and the Saudeleur rulers became one of the most famous legends in the history of Micronesia. According to oral traditions, Isocalico challenged the ruling dynasty in battle. The war spread across the island of Pohnpei. But the decisive battle occurred near the stone city itself. The Saudeleur rulers attempted to defend Nan Madol from the invading warriors. However, something unexpected happened. One legend says that during the battle, magical weapons emerged from the ocean. Spears and weapons rose from the sea to assist Isokelekol's army. Whether symbolic or literal, the story suggests that powerful forces supported the rebellion. Eventually, the Saudeleur ruler was defeated. After centuries of dominance, the dynasty finally collapsed. After the defeat of the Saudeleur Dynasty, something strange happened. The victorious leader Isokelekol did not continue ruling from Nan Madol. Instead, he abandoned the ancient stone city. New political systems were established across Pohnpei, with power divided among regional chiefs. Nan Madol gradually lost its importance. Without rulers or priests maintaining the city, the canals began to fill with sediment. Mangrove forests slowly reclaimed the islands. Over time, the once great city became a forgotten ruin. But the mystery remained. Why would such a massive and carefully built city simply be abandoned? Some researchers believe the complex was too difficult to maintain. Others suggest the city may have been deeply tied to the Saudeleur rulers themselves. Once they were gone, the city lost its purpose. The story of Isokelekol raises an important question. How much of this story is legend, and how much is history? Archaeological evidence suggests that major social changes did occur on Pohnpei several centuries ago. These changes may correspond with the fall of the Saudeleur Dynasty. But because much of the history was passed down through oral tradition, the exact details remain uncertain. Still, the legend continues to play an important role in the cultural identity of the island. And today, visitors walking through the ruins of Nan Madol are reminded that they are standing inside a city shaped by both history and myth. The fall of Nan Madol ended one of the most mysterious dynasties in the Pacific. But it did not end the mystery of the city itself, because modern researchers have begun asking a new question. What if the builders of Nan Madol were influenced by even older civilizations? Some theories suggest connections to ancient cultures across Southeast Asia, or even lost maritime civilizations. If true, Nan Madol may not simply be the capital of a forgotten dynasty. It could be evidence of a much older network of ocean explorers who once crossed the Pacific long before recorded history. And the ruins we see today may only tell part of the story. Hidden among the remote islands of the Pacific Ocean lies one of the greatest archaeological mysteries on Earth. A forgotten city built entirely from massive stone columns. A city constructed on artificial islands rising from the sea. This place is Nan Madol, located off the coast of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. For centuries, the ruins of Nan Madol remained silent, its towering walls slowly reclaimed by mangrove forests. But the questions surrounding this ancient city have never disappeared. Who built Nan Madol? How were its massive stones transported across the island? And why was such an incredible city constructed in the middle of the ocean? Some researchers believe Nan Madol may represent the remains of a forgotten civilization of the Pacific. Others have gone even further. They call it the Atlantis of the Pacific. Tonight, we explore the final mystery of Nan Madol. At first glance, Nan Madol looks like the ruins of an ancient fortress. But the more researchers study the site, the more extraordinary it appears. The entire complex consists of more than 90 artificial islands connected by canals. These islands were constructed by stacking massive basalt columns to create walls and foundations. The interiors were then filled with coral rubble to form stable platforms. This engineering technique allowed an entire city to be built directly above the ocean lagoon. In many ways, Nan Madol resembles a prehistoric version of a canal city. Some historians even compare it to Venice in Italy. But unlike Venice, Nan Madol was constructed centuries earlier and without metal tools or advanced machinery. Even modern engineers admit the construction process remains difficult to fully explain. To understand how such a city could exist, we must first understand the people of the Pacific. For thousands of years, Pacific island cultures developed some of the most advanced navigation skills in the ancient world. Without compasses or maps, they traveled across vast oceans using stars, ocean currents, wind patterns, and bird migrations. Some voyages covered thousands of kilometers of open ocean. This remarkable knowledge allowed ancient navigators to explore and settle islands across the Pacific. Archaeologists now believe that the builders of Nan Madol were part of this broader network of maritime cultures. These ocean explorers connected distant islands through trade, migration, and cultural exchange. Nan Madol may have served as an important ceremonial and political center within this network. Despite scientific explanations, Nan Madol has attracted many alternative theories. Some researchers and explorers have suggested that the ruins could be connected to a much older civilization. Because of its mysterious origins and ocean location, Nan Madol is sometimes called the Atlantis of the Pacific. This nickname references the legendary lost city, described by the Greek philosopher Plato. According to Plato's writings, Atlantis was an advanced island civilization that eventually disappeared beneath the sea. While most historians believe Atlantis was a philosophical story rather than a real place, the idea of lost ocean civilizations continues to fascinate researchers. Some theorists speculate that ancient maritime cultures may have once built advanced coastal cities that were later destroyed by natural disasters. Rising sea levels, earthquakes, and tsunamis have reshaped coastlines throughout history. Could Nan Madol be one of the surviving remnants of such ancient ocean civilizations? So far, there is no scientific evidence proving this theory. But the mystery continues to inspire debate. In recent decades, archaeologists have returned to study Nan Madol using modern technology. Underwater surveys have mapped the lagoons surrounding the ruins. Ground studies have analyzed coral and stone construction methods. These investigations confirm that Nan Madol was carefully planned and engineered. Researchers now believe the city was built gradually over several centuries. The construction likely began around the 12th century during the rule of the Saudeleur Dynasty. However, many questions remain unanswered. Archaeologists still do not fully understand how the basalt columns were transported, how such large construction projects were organized, or why the city was eventually abandoned. Even today, parts of the ruins remain difficult to access due to dense mangrove forests and rising sea levels. Future research may reveal new secrets hidden beneath the water and jungle. Today, Nan Madol is recognized as one of the most important archaeological sites in the Pacific. In 2016, the ruins were officially listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This recognition highlights both the historical significance and the vulnerability of the site. Rising sea levels and environmental changes threaten the ancient structures. Preserving Nan Madol has become an international effort. But beyond its archaeological value, the city remains deeply connected to the cultural traditions of Pohnpei. For the local people, the ruins are not just historical monuments. They are sacred reminders of the island's ancient past. Nan Madol remains one of the most mysterious cities ever constructed. Its towering basalt walls still rise above the waters of the Pacific Lagoon, a silent monument to a civilization that once flourished there. Despite decades of research, many questions remain unanswered. Who truly built Nan Madol? How did they transport the massive stones? And what secrets may still lie hidden beneath its ancient ruins? Perhaps future discoveries will finally reveal the truth. Until then, Nan Madol stands as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. A city of stone, a city of legends, and a reminder that the oceans of our planet may still hide many forgotten chapters of human history. If you wish to continue this journey into the unknown, scribe your name in the great logbook of explorers and signal your approval. The archives of history are vast, and your support unlocks the next chapter. In other words, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Your support helps us create more content like this and explore other mysteries of the ancient world. Thank you for watching.